She ain't only love. Roll Tide, roll tide. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Put me in that game. Yeah. We got us a pre-show. Turn up. Let's go. Let's go. Roll tide in the chat. Wake up. Wake up. Yeah. Good morning. Good morning, Mary Jane. What's up, John? My boy Jason Jackson in the chat. Somebody say good morning. Good morning with the food. Good morning with the food. Let's go, chat. Let's go, Gavin. Baby. Y'all crazy. Y'all ready to act up, ain't y'all? Y'all ready to act up today? Chat. Let me know if y'all ready to act up today. I'm ready to act up. Just a little bit. Come on, y'all. Go ahead and like and share the stream. Let everybody know we get it started here in 2 minutes. And I appreciate it. We bringing it back. We bringing it back. We show the up. Yeah, bringing it back. We bringing it back. Bringing it back. We show turn up. Yeah, we bringing it back. Bringing it back. Yeah, we bringing it back. Oh, we bringing it back. Yeah, bringing it back. We bringing it back. Yeah, I like the beats. Let's go. Make sure y'all pop it. Ooh. Good morning, sis. I see the profile pic. What's up, Jackson? My God. I like that dude, man. I saw your clip, bro. See you doing it big, man. Don't get too big time. Don't forget about me when you make it big, bro. Little bro. Little big, bro. What's good, man? Let's get to 3,000 subs. Yes, we are so close. We are so close. We got a lot to talk about today, chat. Y'all ready to get into it? I'm ready to get into it. Got 15 seconds. Gonna do the countdown. Y'all ready? Got today's show. Yeah, we got today's show. Turn up, man. 10K. Woo! 10K, let's do it. I believe it. I receive it. Let's go. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Let me know if y'all ready for real. Put some fire emojis in the chat if y'all ready. Put some fire emojis in the chat if y'all ready. We talking Alabama defense today. We got Kane Wommack on the horn. Got a lot to talk about today. So, without further ado, let's get into this show, man. How many of y'all ready? Somebody say, put me in the game, coach.
Remember, when you see me in the streets, holler at me. Say, put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. Put me in the game, Coach Smook. Put me in the game, Coach Smook. Put me in the
Let's go. Let's go. Come on, chat. Turn up one time for your boy, man. I don't know what's going on with my audio, but y'all know we usually had a crowd going crazy because I know y'all out there going crazy. See, StreamYard. This is why I do OBS. This is the exact reason why we do OBS. What's going on? Good morning, AAA family. Welcome in. Appreciate y'all for popping in this morning. Y'all are here early this morning. Good to see everybody over here on the YouTube side. We live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Yo, if you cannot see this on Facebook right now, or if you my friend on Facebook, we're on my personal page on Facebook. Go to Facebook right now and share this live right now. I got a lot of Facebook friends that say that they don't use YouTube. So we're going to start streaming it from our page for the next, up until my birthday. We're going to start streaming it from my personal Facebook page so that my friends and family can see it and they can support. They said they want to tap in live. So this is their opportunity as we do it more regularly. Hopefully it'll get some algorithm on that Facebook side. I don't know how Facebook works. It's all for promo right now on Facebook. But welcome in everybody tapping in on the chat, man. Hey, listen, I don't know what is important when streaming. If profile video comments won't show up unless the stream is public. Oh, okay, that's what it is. Okay, let me go fix this on Facebook real quick, chat. I got it. Problem is, I know what the problem is, yeah. 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 He said I be out here making songs, man. I do be kind of slick, my. But nah, we'll worry about it later. We'll change it up on Facebook later. It's gonna take too much. But welcome in everybody. Let's do roll call real quick. Then we're gonna get into the conversation, man. A lot to talk about, honestly. If y'all really want to get past the media topic of conversation, right? If y'all really want to get into the conversation about what's really going on in Alabama, we can really have a good conversation today with this defense. And I got a couple topics, couple names that I want to bring before y'all today. So as we jump into the show today, defense is going to be the topic. If you want to tap in, I don't think we're going to have the phone line because we're missing one of the cords, but we will have our reality of reach segment. And I want you all to be active in the comments today. Make sure you like and share the stream when you come in today. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe. Once again, just like my guy Jackson said, we really trying to push to hit this 3K goal before May 1st. And we really want to hit that 10K by the end of this year. 10K is a nice goal to reach, man. 10K, that'll be something. If we could hit 10K by the end of this year, that'd be awesome. 9 likes on the stream, 21 in the chat. Make sure we keep running those likes up in the chat over there on YouTube. Twitter, if you're over on Twitter, thank you for the retweets. We got 4 retweets already on the live on Twitter. Thank y'all for tapping in, man. Y'all just don't know, man. Those little things is the things that matter. And yes, we are going to take advantage of every opportunity that we have to get our network out there to get the good news and the good conversation out about Alabama football. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Let's get to the top. Shout out to Jarvis tapping in. He was the first comment this morning. Right there at 9:41. I purposely started putting the links in 10-15 minutes before, making them public 10-15 minutes before we go live, so we can see who really got their notifications on. And it's starting to really give us some quality response. So our algorithm is picking up and everybody's starting to tap in. Russell, what's good, man? William Dansby, Roll Tide Jackson, my guy. Good to see you, the voice of college football over there. Mary J, I see you. Mary J getting that good fiber ethernet, that fiber optic ethernet internet installed. Jason, what's good, man? Good morning this morning. Davin, what's good, my brother? Let's see who else in here, man. Shanae, I seen your sister. Grand Rising. The Jamaican queen is in the building, y'all. Russell McDaniel. Hey, if anybody on Twitter is tapped there right now, drop a comment. I want to see if the Twitter comments are coming up. Jarvis said he's lit up about the softball win last night. I wasn't tracking it. I'm not going to lie, man. Last night was a great night as far as rest. I slept the whole night. Like when I laid down to go to sleep last night, I slept. So great night for me. Greg, I see you in the chat, man. What's good, my brother? Good to see you, man. Chosen one, welcome in. That wristband look good next to your name, my brother. Good to see you, man. Good morning, everyone in the chat over there on YouTube. Twitter, appreciate the 19 of y'all tapping in. Listen, we got an hour and a half show set up for y'all today where we're going to get into the conversation. We're going to talk about different position groups on the defensive side. We're going to talk about Kane. We're going to review Coach Kane Wommack's interview for the first 10-15 minutes of this show. And then for the next 45 minutes to an hour and 15 or however long we have, we'll start getting to those topics of conversation. So if you all didn't get to see Coach Kane Wommack's interview yesterday, I have the footage here. We'll be bringing it up. And then also we have clips from Coach Grubb and Coach Kalen DeBoer's presser yesterday, our reaction to their presser yesterday. So let's jump into it today. Let's get into this reactionary segment of Coach Kane Wommack's presser, post-spring football presser yesterday. And this is going to be, this is from yesterday. So this is the Alabama Athletic one. This is the one I actually had available. Great day overall for Alabama women's athletics. Yes. And before we even get into our break and jump into the show, we got about 3 minutes, so I ain't got to rush. Shout out to all my girls, man. And it felt good, y'all. You know, I don't be clout chasing, but it feels good to be in this space to where, you know, seeing Aaliyah and Zay and Sarah, just, I mean, all three of them in each round just represent the university well. And to know that each team that drafted them, these were draft needs that these teams came and got. You look at the Acers with it; they're an up-tempo pace style team, you know, out there in Vegas, and they need shooters. And Aaliyah Knight, that's what she does. Sarah Ashley Barker, strong ball handler, do it all, wing player, can be a big point guard for you when you go big guard set. Probably not going to be a starting guard in the league, but quality six man. I told you, I've always seen her as like the female version of Manu Ginobili, former Spurs great, San Antonio Spurs great. That's the type of energy she brings on the floor, and just the deceptive scoring ability, right? And then Zay Green, I think going in the third round, you just had way too many guards or personnel in the draft with her skill set. That's why she kind of got pushed. And I remember it's way less teams in the WNBA than it is in the NBA. So the rounds are a lot shorter, but those drafts, you go in the first 3 or 4 rounds, you're going to play. You know, you're going to see yourself on the roster. So good to see these girls get their opportunities, man. Draft night was great. And shout out to Alabama women's basketball. Shout out to Coach Curry. I don't know if that's like a record or something for most players drafted in the same class, but we might have to go ahead and do some research on that, see if that's something. Doing pretty good. Okay, yeah, they having their conversations. So shout out to the Big 48 in chat. We got 2 on Facebook, man. It says I'm sorry, if you on Facebook, I got it on friends only. So if you tag friends or send it to somebody inbox, all they got to do is add me and they'll be able to watch it. I forgot to change the privacy settings. Maybe I can do it here. Can I? All right, no, I can't. All right, so we're gonna leave it there. So let's get into the show, y'all. We're here at the 15-minute mark. Hopefully everybody's all settled in and ready to get into the show here on the Coach Smook Morning Show. Next up, you will see Coach Kane Wommack. My God, man, listen, meeting Kane Wommack in person last year, and then every time we're on campus having any interaction with him, it's always a good time with Coach Kane Wommack. So let's jump into it. Let's get into the show chat. Hopefully y'all ready. Coach Kane Wommack is up next here on the Coach Smook Morning Show. Let's get to it.
You're talking about Jalen Milroe and the Pips?
The perfect weak side linebacker, right? Put him next to the mic.
I'm not going to take up a lot of time, but I want to say that I'm excited about what...
Okay, forgive me, my brother. What's on your mind?
Oh, I'm good. I'm just still sorry for all the other content creators now that we have this mega star back in our presence.
Hey, before we get into the show, and I don't know why the camera is looking like this. Oh, yes, I do. Because I need to slide it over. Before we get into the show, man, shout out, man. We got to go find Greg, chat. Y'all remember Greg? We got to go find Greg. Got to get him off work, get him back on the phone lines. I miss Greg. So, diving into the show, chat. Here we go. Coach Kane Wommack interview from yesterday. Let's watch the whole thing. I'm not even going to interrupt today. I seen something yesterday that I want to do. So Let's do this. Check it out.
Okay, I'm going to be brief in some of the things that to overview the spring, but I do want to hit on a couple of things that we emphasize just coming out of this past season. One of the great advantages, right, is continuity, both coaches, players, and being able to take upon your experiences from a year ago and apply that to how you're going to build your roster and your defense going into our second season here. So the first thing that we wanted to make sure we did is we wanted to continue to build depth that we can trust when it matters most. You think about certain games that we had this past season, particularly on the back end, right? We did not have a lot of depth, and it showed up. You're playing Tennessee, you're playing really well. In the second half of that game, 5 of our top 6 defensive backs, were out. And we had not built enough depth there at that position to be able to handle that. And so those are things that I think that, guys that are efficient in their execution, guys that we can trust to go out there and do their job. And I thought we've addressed those needs in a number of areas, which I'm excited about. We wanted to create more negative plays. When you look at some of our measurables and statistics and all those things from last season, there's a lot of great numbers to point towards. But one thing that I thought we missed the mark on was creating negative plays and affecting the quarterback in the backfield. And so that's something that schematically we can get better at. Point of emphasis, we can get better at it. Fundamentally, we can get better at it. And a lot of it is just doing your job. A lot of times when you create negative plays and you affect the quarterback in the passing game, it doesn't mean that you just win a one-on-one battle, but you rush as a unit and you keep the quarterback in the pocket as we show them different coverages on the back end. And those are things I think we took steps in the right direction. We wanted to continue to become more and more disciplined in limiting explosive plays and also, keep the penalty numbers lower. I think we've got guys that are playing with more discipline, playing within themselves, doing their job, nothing extra, no foolish penalties. I think, in 3 scrimmages that were all over 100 plays that we ran, we only had 5 penalties amongst those 3 scrimmages on defense. And so that's a really tremendous number to look towards. And really, I think 3 of those 5 penalties happened on guys that were, maybe third or whatever on the depth chart. So some real positives there in terms of the discipline that we're playing with right now coming out of spring. And then probably the last thing is continuing to bring more people along to understand how to play with offensive recognition. And that ultimately, right, when you get to a third down or a red zone or a 2-minute drive, whatever it may be, right, to have that offensive recognition, to recognize what the offense is getting ready to do and to play with more anticipation. And those are things that I think we're starting to bring some younger players along to play with a little more offensive recognition, and that now needs to continue to carry into the summertime, and then certainly fall camp, and then you get all those reps right before we open up against Florida State.
Thank you, Coach.
All right.
Chase on the far left.
Yeah, during the spring, the players brought up Jeremiah Beeman's name a lot as somebody who made some big steps. Can you just speak to the spring that he had?
Yeah, really, really pleased with Beam and the way that the steps that he has taken this spring. I think you saw pieces of that at the end of the season, even in bowl preparation, and then what he was able to do and execute in the bowl game. He did a really nice job for us in the bowl game. And then, I thought took his game to another level in the spring. And so there's a big body, a big frame that can move. He's athletic and he is operating with consistency, right, that we can trust. And so I'm excited about his trajectory.
Opposite side, Nick.
Yeah, what kind of role do you envision for Dijon Lee in his first season with you guys?
Yeah, I think time will tell, but I think Dijon is very much on pace to contribute for us as a freshman, and that's always impressive to me when you can have a freshman that can compete in the SEC. But the obviously the measurables, right? The talent, the skill level, the discipline. He reminds me a little bit of Zabian and how disciplined and detailed Zabian was when he got here. Mo Linquist does a tremendous job with that group in terms of building in the fundamentals and the discipline to do your job over and over again. You know, you can have 60 snaps as a corner and you can play 58 of them really well, but if you're not consistent in those other two plays,
Welcome
right, you
into
had a
the
bad
chat.
day.
Make sure y'all
And
drop a
so
like
I
on the
think
stream
he's done
on
a really
YouTube
nice
chat.
job of some of the things that I have seen him, not do well enough or be exposed on. He gets those things fixed, and he can sustain that fix throughout the rest of spring. And so if he'll continue on that trajectory through the summertime and then into fall camp, I think, you're going to see him on the field.
We'll go to Johnny all the way in the back.
LT Overton had some flashes of brilliance last year, especially that A&M game. Just wanted to get your opinion on how he's grown this spring and how you plan to use him maybe in a more versatile role next season.
Yeah. I think LT, is a guy that you feel like when he's out there on the field, you can trust him, right? He's going to do his job. He's very consistent. He's a team player. And I think that he can do some things in terms of generating pass rush, that he can take that another step from where he was a year ago.
Yes, sir.
At times
Hey,
he
y'all hear me,
affected the
chat?
passer, but I think in terms of being able to finish in the backfield, that's something that we hope that I think we see him taking steps in the right direction amongst a number of other guys up front there. But to me, LT has worked his tail off to put himself in position to compete at really the highest level, of the SEC. And so we're excited for him and excited to kind of see him take that next step.
Stay on the left side. Let's go to Katie.
When we talked to the players last week, Bray talked about the returners being a lot more comfortable in the defense in year 2 and being able to focus on like the little details
One
instead
second,
of just learning the defense. Is that something you've kind of seen with the returners?
Yeah, I think I think without question, there's a comfort level, right? There's an understanding. There's a difference between knowing and understanding, right? Our players knew at times what to do a year ago. I think now they understand what to do, right? And when you have an understanding of our concepts and how they're applied situationally, you can fix things on the fly when you add that offensive recognition piece. And so, we have more players that are just experienced, not just in our defense, but in terms of understanding the game of football and how it's supposed to be played. And then, I think there's a tremendous amount of buy-in right now. I think our guys are excited about what we're doing. We've been able to have continuity in the defense and also add some wrinkles that the guys like. And so, you want them to have fun. You want them to be excited to come to work.
All right, chat. So this is where I gotta pause it at.
And I think that we have kind of hit all of those metrics this spring.
All right, let me pause it. Let me interject one time. If I have to interrupt one time today, it's going to be here, and I gotta figure out where this little buzz sound is coming from. I know y'all can't hear, but I hear it. Y'all probably can't even hear. Y'all probably like, what Coach Smook talking about? I'm talking about this buzz sound that I hear. All right, so listening to Coach Kane Wommack and just kind of, how he even started the interview, he was just saying he wanted to get kind of direct to the point. This is a guy that I believe is a lot more confident in personnel available for the type of scheme, not just his scheme, but the type of scheme he wants to run. Meaning, it's one way. It's a way to run the 4-2-5, right? But then there's Swarm D, and there's his idea of his philosophy of how guys need to play in order for his philosophy to work. And I think because there was a lot of transition last year, a lot of young players stepping into some key roles, you saw early on where this defense was not necessarily confusing, but guys just were thinking a lot. Now that it's becoming familiar, you're going to see those same guys that were freshmen or redshirt freshmen and sophomores last year. They're stepping into their second year of this system, and then you were able to go out and get guys who are familiar with the natural game of college football, getting great reps in other systems that were similar, and you get those guys in the portal to replace guys that you lost. This is a good thing with the depth on the defensive side of the Alabama roster. And once we get done with Kane Wommack's interview, we're going to dive into it because I don't think we realize the depth of talent at the University of Alabama. And we're going to talk about different formation, personnel sets, and everything in the second hour. In the second half of this show. So y'all definitely want to stay tuned. And if you haven't already, like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe, especially if you're on this YouTube channel. If you have not, I'm stopping right now to ask you, like the stream, hit that thumbs up button, share this stream on any other major platform, and then subscribe to the channel. Appreciate y'all.
You've got Damani and Zabian coming back. You're excited, obviously, about Dijon. Cam Calhoun's made good strides, it sounds like. And oh, by the way, you have Chuck McDonald coming in.
Yeah.
Where do you fit all these guys in? And is it a fun problem to solve as a defensive coordinator?
Yeah, I mean, I think, we have something that we didn't have a year ago, which is depth on the back end, right? And that, that's exciting. Quite honestly, it's what I expected when I came here to Alabama, right? That we would have great depth, and you're always going to, have years, right, where you have to kind of rebuild some of that depth, and you found yourself in a position of guys that left for the draft and guys in the transfer portal, and a transition of from Coach Saban to Coach DeBoer, right, to where we just didn't have the depth probably that we needed to be consistent on the back end throughout the year. And even that, I think our guys did a tremendous job. But now, you feel like you have some bodies that you can work with. And I think, some of those guys have position versatility. We're going to be able to move some pieces around between the corner and safety room and dual train guys so that we find creative ways to get the right packages on the field. Because I think, to your point, these are the questions that I ask myself and the staff all the time. How do we get our best 11 on the field in the right moments? You know what I mean? And that's really my job, to be able to figure those things out, be it packages, be it situationally, and then ultimately, right, how do we make sure that the best 11 represent us when we step on the field for the first play and the last play.
And we're going to explore that today. That's the fun part about this.
Hey, Kane. I'm wondering what you've been able to see from Ivan Taylor.
Hey, Kane. Wait.
Has he been able to glean from watching, I guess, Keon Sab recover, but still be a
Am I tripping?
part of the room from Ray Hubbard, like those veterans that kind of know your system and know what to expect out of Alabama safety?
I would absolutely love to have Ike Taylor on our team, who just finished with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Wait, time out. Did he say Ike Taylor or Ivan?
Be a part of the room from Ray Hubbard, like those veterans that kind of,
be it packages, be it situationally.
Did he say Ivan or Ike,
and then
Chad?
ultimately, right, how do we make sure that the best 11 represent us when we step on the field for the first play and the last play?
hey, Kane. I'm wondering what you've been able to see from Ivan Taylor. What is he?
He said Ivan, right?
Been able to glean from watching, I guess, Keon Sab.
He said
recover, but
Ivan.
still
I ain't
be
tripping.
a part of the room.
I know I heard him say Ivan.
Those
He ain't say
veterans that
Ike.
kind of know your system and know what to expect out of Alabama safety.
I would
Zach?
absolutely love to have Ike Taylor on our team, who just finished with the Pittsburgh Steelers, but his son Ivan Taylor is doing a really good job with us as well. So he's really done a nice job. Ivan is really he's got a ton of energy. He's excited to be out there every single day. He's got a hunger to learn. And I think, he's probably one of the best open field tacklers I've seen as a freshman, and being able to get people on the ground, that is a very challenging, difficult skill. And certainly one that, that I think he's really come in probably way above average for what you would see for a young freshman. And then, he's got a real knack for the ball, that I'm excited, to kind of build upon that. He's got to become more consistent in what he's doing, and that really speaks to all freshmen. But one that I think, if he'll continue to strive at the level that he is right now, I see a path for him to be able to contribute.
So basically, the depth we may not have, and usually, from Coach Saban era, we're used to having like 12 scholarship corners on roster, right? 12 scholarship guys, where guys knew that they were going to sit for 2 years before they possibly see the field. They weren't that generational guy, that day one ready guy. They knew that they were going to sit 2 years, and maybe that second year, towards the end of that second year, they would get pushed into a rotation in that cornerback room. But Now you see where our room, we have what, 8 guys available. Let's think about it. I mean, you only have Cam Calhoun, Damian Brown, Damani Jackson, Deshaun Jones, Red Morgan, Dijon Lee, Chuck McDonald. What other corners we have, chat? Did I miss one? That's 7 guys. 7 scholarship guys right now. And that's one with one not being on campus right now. And then you look at the safety room, you like what you have in the safety room with Bray Hubbard, with Keon Sabb. Got another guy in Cam Howard. Drake Kirkpatrick is in that room. One of those guys that Coach Wommack is talking about, those flex guys. You can put them in multiple spots in the secondary. Cornerback, safety, right? Free safety with Zay Mincy in corner. Then you got Drake Kirkpatrick. He can give you some of that strong safety, that husky rover nickel corner look, and play the boundary. Cam Howard, one high, husky look. So you got a lot of versatility there. Then you got young guys like Taylor, who's going to show you that he's a true one high guy that can really be solid in run game support. So that's a quality thing to see with the young talent. And we don't, like I said, I don't think we have a lot of guys. We don't have a lot of guys. I may be missing one. Who did I miss? I said Xavier Brown, right? I didn't miss one. We got everybody. Just not deep. You don't see that in a lot of cornerback rooms now because of today's day and age with portal, NIL, everything is different. So you got to find the best way to make your philosophy how deep on the roster, how deep in depth, especially defensively, in my opinion. How deep can you go in your rotation and create quality production in this day and age of college football? It used to be you go and get 12 guys and depend on them and then have 2 guys in wait to replace them. It's not like that no more in college football. If you want to sustain, right? You can do like Ohio State and go and bank on 1 year, pay for 1 year. It might pay off for them. They might stay relevant for another 10 years. You know, a natty championship is relevant for about 7 years before you can stop using it as like clout, right, amongst the fan base. So quality depth on the defensive side is going to be key to the success in this transition post Saban.
What do you see from Drake Kirkpatrick this spring?
Oh, Drake.
Yeah. Dre, great example, right, of a guy that took a really big step from year 1 to year 2 in the offseason.
Morning snack, chat.
Dre is another playmaker. He's a football guy, understands the game, right, makes plays when it matters most. And I thought he flashed in a number of ways this spring. And then, the thing that is exciting to me is you saw some of those things a year ago, but the highs and the lows, right? There was too much, of a polarizing, player there, right? Whereas now I think he's playing at a much more consistent level, and he's also making plays. He's another guy that has position versatility. We can play.
So I ask again, chat. Would y'all rather me just do the interviews? Because I haven't watched these. Like, I got the email yesterday. I watched everything. I'm doing live reactions. Would y'all rather me just do the post-practice interviews for y'all, since they saying the same thing I'm saying? I think I give, and somebody said it on the phone line either yesterday or it was a conversation. This staff is very keen on not giving out too much information. Kalen DeBoer is real political in his approach, but not in political in a sense of where he's trying to be cryptic. It's more so he understands PR, but decisive in his message, right? Decisive in his message. You're not left thinking a lot with Kalen DeBoer. Now, he's going to answer the question. You don't ask a question, you're not going to get the answer you want. But this staff is they all, with their different personalities, right? They have their angle in presenting the same motive with this, with how they present this team. So I like it. Get back to Coach.
Nickel position, and so excited to kind of work with him, this summer carrying into fall camp as well. Okay, thanks, guys. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, Coach. All right, chat. Let me see if I can switch it up so we could have a different thingamabob. How that look? Look good, chat. All right, that look good. I wish I went on there. Let me see if I could get myself out there. All right, snaps, baby. Let's get it. Alabama football defense. We just got done talking about Coach Kane Wommack here on the Coach Smook Morning Show. Welcome in again, once again, if you're just tapping in. We're diving into the conversation surrounding Alabama football and their defense, man. The defense is something that I think everybody is very excited about, especially with the way we ended last season. Alabama football ended last season top 10, top 20 overall efficiency stats in the country. We were the number 4 defense ending in our conference ending the season. Statistically, the last 6 weeks in production of what Alabama's defense was able to do was top 10 in the nation, right? Strength of schedule, everything. We had a stronger strength of schedule. We played against higher ranked offenses than majority of our collective opponents, and our defense started to turn a corner, right? We saw this defense start to be productive, especially the secondary. We saw a lot of production from secondary when Bray Hubbard had to be inserted to replace Keon Sabb. Then we saw Damani Jackson and Xavier Brown really take leaps. We saw Jalen Mbakwe, who is now playing wide receiver, come in and play quality reps. We saw a lot of guys rotate at that safety position with Malachi Moore. Devontae Smith, when he struggled and Red Morgan struggled, we saw guys like Deshaun Jones come in and give us quality nickel corner spot reps. So going to see that type of turnover and growth in this secondary, losing Coach Hitchler, I thought was going to be a big impact, but looking at what Coach Mo Linguist did with the boundary guys and the natural athleticism that we have floating and being flexible from the corner to the safety position, you love that same corner technique and skill set at your safety position. It's actually easier for most corners to go and play safety. Sometimes we saw it happen with Eddie Jackson years ago. If you all remember, he started at corner for Alabama, I believe, in 2013, 14, I believe. Y'all go find out. I can't remember. It's been a while. It's been over 10 years. Eddie Jackson and that crew, when he came in and played corner, him and Cyrus Jones, I believe, were the boundary corners. And the year he transitioned to safety, you saw he ended up being a first-round draft pick because of was he a first-round draft pick? Don't give me the line, y'all. He ended up getting drafted because of that transition to from corner to safety. Could play corner, still could solidly be a corner in the league possibly. But then you see him just thrive at safety, being able to play that center field robber technique in a lot of the schemes and a lot of the play calls that Coach Saban was calling back then, because you had 2 lockdown corners. So you got to do a lot of, one high robber looks over top. And I think you're going to see Coach Kane Wommack kind of apply those same type of philosophies in the secondary when it comes to coverage. You saw his dad, David Wommack, do the same at Ole Miss. Ole Miss was known for sticking with a lot of man coverage on the back end because what they were doing up front was so effective. How aggressive they were up front was so aggressive. I think Kane has taken that same type of philosophy and found the quality balance in this space-eating offensive game that we're in now in college football. He's found a good balance to where he's kind of forcing things into space and creating impact off of that, limiting their production and creating. That's why it's called swarm defense. You want to force the pass to a spot where you're already sending guys in that vicinity. Now you're getting to the ball, you're holding them up, you're ripping at the ball, you're getting a lot of hits on the primary target. If that's where you want to force it, we saw last year this team, we played the check down and the underneath routes better than we've seen from Alabama in years. We played the middle of the field better than we've seen from an Alabama defense in years. And that was all a testament to guys just kind of continuing to get those live reps, picking up on the lingo and understanding what the concept is behind the play call, and not just going out there and getting a play call and going and doing an assignment, understanding what you're trying to accomplish. Coach Kalen DeBoer and Coach Ryan Grubb both spoke on this during their presses about how guys seem to be understanding what they're being asked to, why they're being asked to do it instead of what they're being asked to do, right? And when you get to a point where you understand why, you become a different type of player or individual when executing. All right. So we're going to dive into some of the conversation. Hashtag put me in the game, coach, man. We're going to talk about the position groups. Let's talk about the Alabama defensive depth chart again. I want to get into it real quick. We kind of talked about it recently on the live. So I'm going to get into it. And I want to talk about the defensive depth chart. Just now on the defensive side, I don't want anybody to really pay attention to necessarily the depth chart order. I don't want y'all to pay attention to this because I don't think we're nowhere near identifying what that looks like at the University of Alabama. And I got to do something, y'all, while we're doing this live. I'll be able to do it like this. But I got to get the rest of the... players thingy-me-bobs clipped. So I got that page up. We should be able to do it now. I got the page up, so we should be good. All right, so let's get to this. All right, depth chart, defensive depth chart. Let's get to it. And let me see. Should I mirror my camera so I can? Am I looking at the screen chat? It will look like I'm looking at the screen. It can't look like it. There we go. Now it look like it. All right, so checking this out, chat. We looking at the defensive line rotation. We got great reports from how the defensive line showcase their skill sets during the open viewing and practice. Everybody that talked about the defensive line talk about how explosive this group looks. In particular, one group, one position in particular is, to me, that's going to really show flashes and be a key to the success of this offense. I mean, this defense is the defensive tackle position. You know, a lot of these guys, it traditionally back in the day, you look at the 280 guys, they would be your traditional, what we have now is bandits. But now because of this scheme and we're kind of using smaller bodies that can play bigger roles and take on the offensive line, you see guys like Edric Hill, Jeremiah Beeman, Jordan Renard being able to be pushed on the interior and use their skill sets being similar builds and defensive end builds getting put on smaller guard, slower guards, lesser athletic offensive linemen, being able to demand double teams from the interior, which frees up your specialists and edge rushers. These guys can get to the quarterback, but they're more so guys that can control the line of scrimmage, generate power while having weight pushed against them while experiencing resistance. These are guys, that's what you look for in defensive tackles. Can they cause disruption in the interior? And the defensive tackle position, I think you have four guys that not only can cause disruption by being like just mess everything up like you want from your nose guards, guys that demand, that just create chaos in the interior. These guys can actually get to the football. We saw James Smith, a big body guy, 6'3", 295, that can really go left and right, move laterally with some quickness, and a big body and strong. His get off is quick. But this spring, we've been able to enjoy the benefit of seeing guys like Jordan Renard, flash, Edric Hill, flash, Jeremiah Beeman, flash. And all of these guys are redshirt sophomores and freshmen. These guys still have at least 2 years minimum left on campus. And we still have yet to get Landon Simmons on campus. Landon Simmons, the 3-star signee that we got from this class, don't sleep on him. He's coming to get right in this development curve, knowing that you're going to possibly see James Smith go off to the draft after this year. I think he's going to have a first-round type year. A 1-year full-time starter. We're possibly going to lose James Smith. Quay Russaw too. Full-time starter. But slide over to the nose guard position, looking at defense, and we just talking defense today, y'all. Just talking about once we go through the personnel and how I think this is going to shape up, we'll actually I'm going to start throwing some sets out there, and I'm going to just move the guys around, right, and show you what this looks like a pass rush set. If we want to put a pass rush set out there, personnel, right? We're going to have some fun with it today. You see the nose guard position. Let's go back to it. Tim Keenan, that leader in that room. Steve Bowler, the JUCO transfer. He signed with Bama, just went to JUCO. Get caught up with classes. Still learning the game. Still raw, but a raw talent that is hard to stop. You don't move him you don't move him. He don't get moved very much. Right there over the center. He's going to be playing a lot of that zero and that one technique. Got a side faker. You seen 88? Just a stuffer, right? Not the tall guys right there in the middle. They're just stuffers. Stuffers. It's hard to keep your hands on them because they slippery and they heavy. They got these broad bodies. They low to the ground. They pad level. They keep low pad level. That's a quality group of interior guys. Now we talking about the edge on the D line, right? A lot of people get this bandit position mixed up with linebackers. It's not necessarily linebackers. These guys are going to go to the league as defensive ends that play the bandit position. They're going to be scouted as defensive ends. You look at their builds, they fit the new build, the new framework of what the defensive end position demands at the NFL level, at the professional level. Keon Keeley, I believe, is going to be the starter, the first guy you see in the rotation, right? But you'll be crazy to think if you think he's going to take 60 snaps and LT Overton and Kelby Collins are going to be split in 10. The depth is something to be amazed with at the University of Alabama. I'm trying to tell you all, look at this depth. Look at the depth of rotation. You had a guy in Kelby Collins who should have been a starter at Florida last year, played starter like reps at Florida last year, over the past 2 years at Florida. Now he's at Bama playing that bandit position. You got him in the rotation. We saw what LT Overton did in this scheme. You heard what Kane Wommack said. We want to see him just finish plays. Was getting to the quarterback, just not finishing. Want to see him continue to grow in that. You put a guy like Keeley, who we saw get in against Michigan and really create havoc and finish plays, right? Shout out to Mary J for tapping in on the ones and twos. And it looked like she popped in quick. Let me see. We about to see how this new connection is. But shout out to my sister in the back, man. Keon Keeley, I think, is going to be the starter. Kelby Collins, and then somebody that we haven't been seeing a lot of or hearing a lot of from, but I'm telling you, he's a part of the game plan. You don't go in the portal and get a red shirt junior to come down and man the edge of this scheme where you're going to you depend on guys to be gap disciplined for real. This isn't two gap scheme where guys are kind of just guessing and they're kind of holding up and then reacting. This is guys being disciplined enough to shoot gaps or contain edges and seal edges when they need to be done, when it needs to be done on a consistent basis. And we have an opportunity to see that with this quality of depth. No young talent there. You got third year guy in the red shirt sophomore in Keeley. Got a fourth year guy in LT Overton. Kelby Collins is a third year guy. Got a fourth year guy in Henry. So the depth of experience for the talent and experience for the D line is going to be key. I think that's going to showcase. It's going to help a lot in our production on the defensive side. We had a young defensive group play. We had a young defense last year, playing a lot of minutes last year. So I think we're going to see some quality rotation in that defensive front, and then kind of to round out the defensive front, which isn't really a defensive line position, but they play a defensive end / outside linebacker position, and that's the wolf position. Creating that 4-man front is going to be linebackers. They're guys that are classified as linebackers. You won't see them be traditional defensive ends. They provide some of those techniques, but these are guys that are going to drop back in coverage a lot. They're going to be counted on to contain the edge. They're going to be counted on to show, they're going to be the stunt guy in a lot of your 4-man stunts up front. They're going to be the guy that's going and twisting from the 5 to the 2 or the 5 to the 3 or the 9 to the 3, or the 7 to the 3. Like that's the type of versatility you want at the wolf position. That's why you see them kind of overstocking at that position. I don't know where to put Nolan Asbury. I've seen him playing some quality reps in the scrimmage, 51 on defense. I don't know where to put him because I seen him at the Wolf. I seen him at Bandit. I seen him. He's just your auxiliary linebacker that you put him somewhere. So I just left him here at the Wolf position because I know that's a position group that's going to see a heavy rotation. I'm thinking a lot of these guys may not. If we do see this room depleted next year, it's because guys don't want to play like 12 to 15 reps a game. What I believe, you can play 12 to 15 reps consistently a game, and that closes your margin to be evaluated for mistakes if you're a high quality player, a high level player. Somebody like Noah Carter in his first year getting some live reps and meaningful gameplay. I think a year where he only getting 7 to 10 consecutive snaps a game, 7 to 10 just consistent consecutive snaps, where he gets out there and he's able to make an impact during the phase of the game, whether it's a 2-minute defense, where there's 4-minute defense, where he's a part of rotation. If he's able to get in, I think that'll benefit a guy like him, because now he's just building on things and building confidence. So if somebody in front of him goes down now, he's not uncomfortable doing what he's already been asked to do. You can actually stack and expect him to come along because you gave him time to develop in the early responsibilities. But that rotation at the Wolf position, Quay Russaw, Justin Hill, right? Yanzi Pierre, I think they're right there as the second guy behind Quay Russaw. I think more so Yanzi Pierre, but just because purely off of his veteran presence, Justin Hill is going to be like a guy that's an assignment-centered guy, smart enough to do the extended responsibilities of the Wolf position. But I think you get a natural talent like him with his abilities, you put him out there and you let him go get the quarterback. When you got guys like Ja Latham that you could say, go get the quarterback. But if you see read option, you are the read guy, so you go with the quarterback. You stay with the quarterback. Do not try to make the tackle on the running back. Stay with the quarterback. We got to have that type of discipline with our defensive guys this year, especially at that Wolf position. The type of rotation we have, I think we're going to see this. Noah Carter, I said I'm excited about seeing where he goes. I think he's going to be a special team standout this year. No disrespect. If anybody knows you want to earn your respect at Alabama, you want to become a legend on the defensive side, make some plays on that special teams, especially kickoff and punt. You want to become a legend to the Alabama nation, get on that special teams. Vinny Sinceri is a legend because of what he did on special teams. Robert Foster is a legend for what he did on special teams. Javier Arenas, Tony Brown, they're legends because of what they did on special teams. Guys like Noah Carter, Caden Jones, going into their second year, this is your year to become legends on special teams, man. QB Reese, we know you're going to get your snaps on the defensive side, but on special teams, be the leader like Q-Rob was last year. Q-Rob was so just appreciative to be on the field. Did y'all see the energy he had for being on special teams on the Tides that bond? Come on, man. What's going on, Deborah? Good to see you this morning. MJ, what's good, my brother? And then we got Sully in the chat. Ain't no way we can't be consistent overall as team, though. Most of the season, as team through most of the season, and look like a champion caliber team if we execute like we need. We natty bound again. I think we are right there in the top 6-7 teams in the country right now, just looking at roster talent. And then we're going to look at our schedule, the last 15 minutes of the show too, y'all. I'm about to transition to the rest of the depth chart so we can get the conversations in and start looking at some of these sets. Justin Hill, Ja Latham, Noah Carter. Looking at the Mike position, I think right there we'll see Deontay Lawson. Like I said, we'll be adding him. Let's go ahead and add that graphic to the roster. And guys, I want y'all to understand this. I don't think Deontay Lawson is going to be our starter. I don't think he's going to be the starting Mike linebacker. I think there's cause for concern to nurse him back to 100%. But I think he can be a good third guy. I think he should be playing the position that Justin Jefferson played last year. Then in the rotation, I think Deontay Lawson could play that third guy in the rotation and create a lot of value for himself in this 2025 draft. I think he missed out this past year not coming out. Even with the injury, I think he would have been a solid late first round, early second round pick. A lot of things that Lawson did on film or in game, they look worse in game than they actually do on film. Smart linebacker, And he's going to be a guy that if he isn't counted on as far as heavy reps, he can really solidify himself. But I think there's a argument to be made about Nakai Hill-Green coming in and not missing a beat, literally not missing a beat. This is a guy that's stepping up and offering quality tutelage and mentorship for the younger guys in the room. Mary J got that super speed in there. Shout out to Mary J for checking in. Appreciate you for coming through, Mary J. She was making sure that she's gonna be ready to help. And then young Luke, man, a guy that I believe can be on special teams again. Special team standouts. A lot of these guys right here in the interior, if we could just take these guys and put them on special teams, that brings a different level. Like, create that type of mindset around it, man. Allow these guys to take pride in making plays. Imagine if the special teams had a mindset, hey, we're going to score more than the offense today. What if the special team said that? What if the special team said, we're going to create more turnovers than the defense? Right? That's crazy to think like that, but you can have a game where a punt block or a kickoff, a fumble on the kickoff, or a big hit inside the 20 on the kickoff, or a big hit on the punt, right? Like, we got to get guys like that, and I think we got a lot of talent that doesn't necessarily need to be on the field for reps, doesn't need to be worried about being in the game plan as far as, you know, trying to get on the field and play this year, but be ready. But get on that field and get some speed about you. Get you some like live action feel on the special teams. Get the cheat code. All the ones that excelled on special teams end up having great careers in college. Looking at the wheel position once again, let's go get Justin Jefferson. I think Justin Jefferson is the starter there. Gave us quality depth there last year. When honestly, when he went down, when Lawson went down, I would argue that our linebacker production was better with Justin Jefferson and Jahad Campbell, more so than it was with Lawson in the game. And we even saw Jeremiah Alexander get some quality reps at the inside linebacker position and we had better production with Jeremiah Alexander on the field. So I'm a little confused, and no slight at Deontay Lawson. I love the young man. I'm a little confused as to why he came back, right? Because I think Tim Keenan is just going to continue to perform consistently, you know, and maybe Lawson came back to go and get that national championship, right? Got a lot of people that came back for prior reasons, but as far as draft, when we're talking about the business side of it, I think this is a stacked room. Justin Jefferson needed a full season as a starter. I think he's going to benefit, showing that he can be a good rotational linebacker piece for any system in the NFL. And I think when you look at it for real, you got the young guys, QB Reese and Abdul Sanders Jr., who have looked like starters all spring. Every report. Caden Jones coming along, filling out that frame, man. Came to Bama last year, I believe, at 210, 215. Sitting at 230. Speed, that lateral speed. I wouldn't be surprised, though. I'm not going to lie. Because of you know, if he doesn't stay with the developmental side, very green at the linebacker position. I think if he understands that, then he won't be going anywhere anytime soon. But if somebody was to hit the portal, I think Caden Jones would, just because I know there's a lot of teams that will utilize his skill set, right? Just his natural skill set. And it might benefit him being in a different system, but in this system, he has a few things to develop on. I think he looks good in tracking the ball, in run plays. He's disciplined. It's just the guys in front of him have him a little bit more pop, a little bit more athleticism, right? Strength, being able to roll over to generate that power from the lower body to the upper body extremities. And then, you know, he gets lost in coverage. If y'all paid attention, Our young and Duke Johnson, not used to being in coverage a lot, and it showed up. But I think he's up for the challenge, man. He seems to be excited about being able to be in that inside linebacker room rotation. And I think he'll be a guy later on in his career as he continues to develop, if he sticks around for the next 3 years, right? Develops in his system to where he's a pass rush specialist from the inside linebacker position, kind of like what you saw from Jahad Campbell out of the inside linebacker rotation last year. All right, moving on over. Let's go to the boundary to get to these corners. Got Damani Jackson, Dijon Lee. I think that's the rotation there for the corners. Go to the Husky position. Not very confusing here, guys. Bray Hubbard, Drake Kirkpatrick. I think you get the same type of player with those guys playing in that position, putting them in slot corner, tight fields, getting great corner guys, physical guys that can come up and support you in the run game. But also you can rotate them. You get motion, and these guys have to go to the top of the field. You like Drake Kirkpatrick in the middle of the field. Rangy ball hawk. We saw Bray Hubbard. We don't have to talk about Bray. Bray is him. Ain't no secret. Ain't no secret what we got with Bray. Let's not even try to act like we don't know what this secondary rotation is going to look like. And I think they understand how deep they are as far as talent. I think they like the fact that they have a group of 10, right? A group of 8 that they all know they're going to play. They know, hey, we got Don, bro, get outside. Get outside. That's on you. That's you, bro. That's your set. Right? Oh, you want me to get it this time? Like, that's what I feel like we got in the secondary right now. And I wouldn't be surprised if we go in the portal and get another corner, chat. I wouldn't be surprised. Just to add depth. Looking at the free safety position, Zay Mincy is going to be right there backing up Keon Sabb. Y'all know we got Keon Sabb. Let me go get Keon real quick, chat. Let's go get Keon. The brother Keon Sabb. And shout out to Keon Sabb, man. Shout out to my boy, man. Somebody gonna catch it. I know it. Don't text me. You can say it in the chat if you want to. You ain't gotta text me. Be quiet, BT. I wasn't talking to you. All right, where did it go? All right, we got Sab. He's here, y'all. He was in class. I had to go and check him out real quick. He's trying to hurry up and graduate before the for the spring, so he just focused on football. So I got Keon Sabb. I got Keon Sabb at the free safety position starting. I like Zay Mincy. Like I said, he's been a consistent guy at that free safety position throughout the spring. And then we got little Ivan Taylor. Where did I put young Ivan? I don't see Ivan right there. I don't know why that's there. I definitely see Ivan being at the free safety position. And then here, where's Deshaun Jones? This is my rotation here at the rover position. I like the fact that they put Xavier Brown back out there on the boundary. I think that's like the pecking order too, secondary wise. If one of the first group boundary guys go down in Cam Calhoun or Damani, I think you automatically size Xavier to the boundary, right, to replace that guy, whichever side that is. Because I think Damani's your first ISO guy. If he goes down, you throw Calhoun on that side. Or actually, you throw Xavier on that side. Keep Calhoun where he is. Calhoun goes down. Xavier goes back to where he was last year. And he's already on the field at the rover position. And then you bring a guy, Deshaun Jones, in to replace at the rover inside. He's kind of your nickel corner, your in the box safety guy, right? That's interchangeable with the Husky on the other side, Bray Hubbard, right? And I think we just got a quality look of rotation. So that's our Alabama. That's my defensive depth chart. Some players that I see that's going to pop as we get ready to get to the last stretch of this show. Players that I see standing out. and I'm going to kind of just scan over and look at the roster. Players that I see standing out. Let's start at defensive line. I'm excited. I think I'm more so excited about the defensive line production this year because we didn't get the D-line production at the beginning of last year like we thought we would. We thought Jaheim Otis was set for a big year after he got healthy. He ended up quitting on us. I want to say 3 games into the season, right? We didn't see the edge rushing really turn over to the end of the year. So I think with the rollover effect from last year, I think a name that we really need to be looking at, or names that we need to be worried about, it coming from this defensive tackle position. I'm telling y'all, we will hear Jeremiah Beaman, Edric Hill, Jordan Renard, James Smith. Those names will be a constant because of where they play and how this scheme is designed for them to really be the attack point of a lot of our stunts. So I see Jordan Renard really popping off the screen early in the season. I think people are going to start seeing the depth of talent based off of his production. James Smith is going to be the leader, the steady cattle horse, but Jordan Renard is going to be the one. When you see him on the field, it's going to get different. It's going to get wicked. Edric Hill too. 94 is different, strong. 92. If you mess around and you put 92, let's say we slide 92 to the Bandit, right? You got a set where you got 92 here. You got Bowler here. Let's do pass rushing. You got Bowler here. Let's say you got Renard here. And then you got, let's go Rusar here. Let's go Rusar. Let's go Rusar here. Look at this front. Look at what you have as far as your front. The type of talent you will see across from you. You have to deal with a Jeremiah Beaman, right? Pass rushing specialist from the interior in high school. You're putting him on the edge to play in. He's going to be going up against a slow left tackle, probably a weak left tackle, somebody that he's probably going to have the athletic advantage against. Then you got to deal with a guy that's just going to wreck stuff in the middle of your defense. And Steve Bowler, shoot a gap. Try to stop him if you can. Not many people were able to do it in JUCO or high school. Can't wait to see how he does in the SEC. Jordan Renard, another guy that can get slippery. Right? Pause. I don't know if that's pause worthy, if we're still pausing. But a guy that is hard to keep your hands on him. Put him on the interior to get to your running back. Or honestly, I would slide Renard out to the end. He's more of an end pass skill set than Beaman. I like Beaman on the interior just because of his get off, that pad level. I like Renard to get those type of snaps. Same thing with Edric Hill right here behind Beaman on pass rush sets, right? I'm not saying James Smith can't be a pass rushing interior defensive lineman. I just think skill set wise it fits more so for Renard and Edric Hill. Their bill is filthy. Now we come out in base set though. We gotta have we come out in base set. We gotta have my boy James Smith up front. You're talking about having balance to stop the run, get to the pass off of play action. A guy that can track the ball, can shed blocks at a high rate. We have a lot of talent at the D line. That defensive tackle position is probably the most versatile on the front. Also across the front, the bandit position. I like what we have with a steady rotation. I don't think one of these guys is going to have to accept the role of just not being their year. And it might end up being Henry, who's a redshirt junior who can learn the system this year, right? And really benefit from being the leader in the room next year. Because you can have a great year from Kelby Collins and LT Overton, and both of these guys go to the draft. They can go to the draft after this year. So a lot of patience needed to be shown in that room. But I like our defensive front. The defensive tackle room is probably the most talented across the front and the most versatile. You look at the Wolf position, yes, it's stacked. It's a lot of edge rushing guys there. Right? How many times can we get them in sets? We actually going to do an episode. I'm going to bring some of the talking heads, the George Teague and all of them on. We're going to start doing our offensive sets. We definitely got away from ourselves in this show. But then you look at the wheel rotation, man. I like what we're going to possibly be able to see from Justin Jefferson, QB Reese, Duke Johnson, Caden Jones. I think it's more so going to be a Justin Jefferson and QB Reese type of thing there, with Nakai Hill Green getting some spot play there next to Lawson when you need them two on the field at the same time. We saw times last year where Jefferson, Campbell, and Lawson, Jefferson, and Campbell were on the field at the same time. So the diversity and the range of what the linebackers can be used in this system is going to be fun to see. I think Kane Wommack is very confident this year coming into this second season with his play calling, knowing what assets he has available, knowing tendencies of a lot of his fronts too. Anybody that knows the 4-2-5 scheme know that your front is the dictator, or basically the end all be all of how this set goes, right? How the defense goes. So if you can get the front established, if you can get people going in the front, if you can get pressure from the front, you can see you can see a successful defense. And one of their keys, let's talk about keys before we get out of here. One of their keys, they want to create more pressure on quarterback, meaning not necessarily sacks, but pressure affecting the quarterback to where they're forcing forcing higher incompletion percentages, right, against Alabama. A stat that they really honed in on last year. If you look at the completion percentages from opposing quarterbacks against Alabama the last 4 weeks of the season, number 4 in the country. Number 4 in the country with 20 plus pass attempts or more average in the game. Pressure on QB picked up a little bit. Still wasn't in the top 25% like you would want. Open field tackling, our missed tackles were cut in half from the Vanderbilt game. The Vanderbilt game was probably our worst tackling game. And that was just guys just not giving effort. Different mentality about this team. One of the keys, create more turnovers. I think this team did good as far as creating turnovers. This defense came in year one and created more turnovers in 1 year as far as philosophy change and everything than Coach Saban had done in the past 3 years. Interceptions, right? You had, 2 true freshmen come in last year and end up getting interceptions, three true freshmen. I think Zay Mincy is going to be a ball hawk for us this year. Surprise a lot of the viewers, a lot of the fan base that really don't pay attention to the roster. I think Zay Mincy is going to be a surprise auxiliary spot player for our defense this year. I really do. So, with that being said, hopefully, we got. Did we get into our topics of today? Let me see. I didn't went to talking about every defensive person. What topics? What topics we got? Oh, we got the topics tonight. That's why I'm looking at the topics of conversation. Breakout stars this year. If I had to pick one guy from each level of the defense, let's talk just one guy, and I can't pick more than one. If I had to pick a breakout guy this year on the defensive side, let's talk about breakout, not a guy that had a great year last year and should have a good year again this year. I'm talking about guys that's like going to really come from not being known to stepping on the scene with their opportunities and creating a huge impact. If I had to pick a guy from the defense, and I'm gonna go each level, right? Secondary, linebacker position, and defensive line. If I had to pick a guy from our secondary this year, I think a coming out year, like a pop out year, Deshaun Jones. Looking at the reports from the GAs in the secondary, right? The guys, and just listening to some of the insider reports from guys that are with the program daily. Deshaun Jones, I think, is our secret weapon. He's like the hidden secret. If he doesn't hit the portal, I think he will find himself playing a lot of reps because of the need for that dime slot corner position. Not the dime safety, but the dime slot corner position. When people want to try to spread our defense out, because our defensive line is going to begin to the quarterback, you're going to have to force us put 4 wide receiver sets out there. You know, you're going to have to expend extra assets to provide protection when you don't have you're not able to allow. You're trying to keep us from having 4 down linemen, right? Trying to keep us from having a 4-man front look. How do you do that? You throw four wide receiver sets out there. Try to spread us out. Well, I think because a guy like Deshaun Jones gives you that much depth of talent as far as experience and being able to cover downfield, putting him up against your slots and your linebackers and tight ends on the interior and providing him some type of, bracket type help around, That's going to help him as a natural corner. That's going to help him really play freely. And knowing the system, he had a lot of trouble learning the playbook last year, learning this system, learning the scheme under Kane Wommack, coming in from was it Purdue or Wake Forest? Wake Forest? It was Wake Forest, right? So I think he's going to pop in the mid in on the second level for the linebackers. I think a guy that's really going to. I'm telling you guys, do not sleep on it. Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson in the linebacker room. He's going to have a breakout year. His draft stock is going to skyrocket. The fact that he was able to come to Bama, right? And he was a smaller guy. He came to Bama, I think he was like 212, 215 when he first got to Bama. Everybody was saying he was too small. He got to be at least 220, this, that, and the third. Came in the last season at 215, 220. Not going to be a big frame guy, but he's a true inside linebacker. He's a true weak side linebacker, if you ask me. A true weak side guy that can cover, get in space and cover, has the speed, secure the tackling, which I think comes with reps. It was very limited up until once he started getting rolling. Once he started getting those reps, you've seen him. I think he's the breakout linebacker in the linebacker room. That's through all the edges. That's over Justin Hill, the true freshman, who I think is going to have a great year. That's over Noah Carter, who I think is going to start having opportunities to show flashes. That's over Quay Russaw, who had a great year. I think Justin Jefferson will break out this year. And then on the defensive line, once again, I'm going to keep saying the name Steve Bolo, Steve Mbuma. Watch out, guys. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts getting a boatload of the snaps late in the season, over Tim Keenan, because of where the defense will be progressing and his speed. He's so much faster than a lot of the guys in the interior, straight line speed, and his frame, you're not supposed to be able to move like that. So for that reason, I think he's going to be the breakout guy. So those are my three breakout guys in the secondary. I got Deshaun Jones. I think he's going to have a breakout year on the second level in the linebacker room. Justin Jefferson is my breakout guy, and on the defensive line, Steve Bola and Mbuma. I think he's going to have a breakout year. Big guy in the middle. Put on a lot of weight too. Y'all look at his weight that he stepped on in the JUCO with. I think he was at 265, 270. He's at Bama right now at 290. If I'm not mistaken, I think he's clipped the 290, 295 mark. 298. So he's almost 300. 6'4", 298 is what the roster says. So a lot of quality depth in that defensive line room. A lot of talent on the side, the defensive side of the ball. A lot of quality coaches returning. A lot of continuity on this defensive side as far as coaches returning and philosophy and game planning. We're going to continue to have these conversations throughout the spring chat. Throughout the summer break. And we'll be on scene for one of the team link ups here off season in July. We're planning to make our way there and provide some behind the scenes coverage. It's off campus, so it's gonna be fun. So with that being said, thank y'all for tuning in today, man. If you made it to the end of the show, this hour and a half show, and you enjoyed it, man, you're watching this post live, please don't forget to like and share the stream, man. We've been doing a lot of work. Y'all see the screen moving because we're testing a new angle. Y'all see the camera moving, and we're trying to get it to where in our edits, the motion camera effect is working. So when we have it moving a little bit, it's because it's trying to pick up a little bit. Plus, the table is a little unstable, but we doing what we doing. If y'all can see, like, I'm moving now, y'all see the camera it's slow because I got to upgrade the camera, but because of you all support, we're growing and people are contributing to this network, and we're able to upgrade our equipment to continue to bring this quality content. But with that being said, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you're not a member of the YouTube channel, take an opportunity, join the YouTube membership. We're going to crank up the YouTube membership lives. We're hitting our year mark May 1st. So join the membership group. Do not miss out on the content. Do not miss out on the Smook Scoop on all your Alabama content. Or we've been getting some news about college football. The Nico story. We didn't speak on it out of respect for some personal relationships we have. But we got some insight and some behind the scenes stuff that we'll be releasing with our members only content. So, and it's going to be more stories like that Nico story developing. So you want to be in on those conversations. Think about becoming a member. It's $2.99 a month for basic membership to become a member. AAA family, get that wristband. And then we got VIP, sending out VIP perks starting in May. Y'all gonna love y'all first VIP perk, man. Hopefully y'all represent and put it where you're gonna be able to see it and remember that you're supporting something great here. Our recruiting, high school recruiting, get your athletes seen here on the Coach Smook Network. We got a lot of recruiters, analysts, college football analysts, college recruiters, independent scouts, scouting networks and publications, databases, all of that thing that we've been networking with over the past year and a half. Now we've established some relationships. We're getting kids invited to mega camps, all of that stuff. You want your child to have an opportunity to play at the next level, and you really support the Coach Smook Network. We want to return the favor by putting that child or putting that athlete on this network. And you don't have to be a subscriber to do that. We're looking for all athletes. So if you're on Twitter right now, you're watching this and you see, you got some players right now, coaches that probably aren't getting the looks. You're sending the film out. You're not send it over. We do our own evaluation. We're not saying everybody is going to make the cut, but the guys that I really think could fit into systems that I know and network with, we're going to put you out there. We're going to put you out there. And even if I don't know where you can go, if I just see raw talent, we're going to put it out there. We're going to help you. So that's our initiative. And just overall, just bringing back positivity in this culture, man, in this industry. A lot of people have tried to associate the Coach Smook Network with drama. Now, we just don't stand for BS. We don't like fair weather fandom, and we don't like fake support. So if you fall under those categories, it's probably best you stay where you're at. But if you don't fall under those categories and you're ready to see the energy and the truth of information and sharing information come back to this industry and media, continue to support the Coach Smook Network, because there's a lot of people that we've been networking with that support that same agenda. So with that being said, thank you all for supporting and coming in today and showing your love. And don't forget, man, anytime y'all see me live, please like the stream, share the stream. And if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe. Let me see what our count is at. Let's see where our count is at. I think we at 2,931, chat, if I'm not mistaken. 2,941, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. And then we're going to get up out of here. Clicking on it right now. 2,930 subscribers on YouTube. We need 70 more, chat. So 70 more subscribers to get to that 3K before May 1st. So continue to like and share the stream. Thank y'all for how many likes did we have on the stream today? I got to get another screen, chat. Can't be clicking through tabs. We got 28 likes on the stream. Appreciate y'all for letting us hit that 25 likes. We exceeded the goal of 25 likes. Thank y'all for showing y'all support. And again, when you see me in the streets, holla at me and say, put me in the game, Coach Smook. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Y'all be blessed.
Remember, when you see me in the streets, holla at me. Say, put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. 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 Put me in the game, Coach Smook.